one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been as proper since a teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to ignite, I'm winning, coming through with the title because I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will
shit, man. One West. Hey. I'm a UPK nigga, I'm stuck in my ways. That's on them, letting cowards fill up they ranks. Goddamn, lost tribes got them following waves. Loyalty a lifestyle, nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a saint, no New Orleans, it's going up. Next spot, we at the B&B. I'm turned up, I'll pull up in the SRT. Burning rubber, hey, UPK shit. Look, met her at the club, told her pull up to the lobby. She know I'm in the coat, we're all black, no Illuminati. This my other half shit, I can't move without it. These my motherfucking brothers, yeah, what I'm gon' do without them, yeah. If it's beef, I can't wait to sink my teeth in. Niggas going overboard, they off the deep end. Why you tripping off that hoe? That's some weak shit. Told him put me in the game cause I love defense. Yeah, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Yeah, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, I ain't gotta settle, I got options, ma. No, I stand on business, my name not Tazar. I'll pop you with this pocket rock. Feed a nigga shells like a taco truck. Hey, this bitch got sound effects, it go pew pew pew. I ain't trippin' on no drink, got bottles in the room. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, bitch, it's 12 a.m. Look at them, they ain't none of us and we ain't them. I told him put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, ayy, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ayy, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, ayy, she say she find me interesting. Want me to call, yeah, yeah. UPK shit, man, you already know what it is.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
No remorse in my blood slim, it won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms, watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5, I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell, praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. Backstage.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch. Fuck you talking about? If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All they niggas wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shorter and I show her. She could never get a priest hoeing. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to damn kill you. I was stalking his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. Nigga, I popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Backstage.
Hey, this is Wednesday night history class. Me and Banyamin is going to be holding it down today. So this is the Wednesday class. Any questions, just type them in the chat and we'll get to them. Today we're going to go in slavery in the British country house. So if you know about the country houses, There's a lot of these houses that you see in Britain, and they're all owned by certain people, and you'll realize a lot of those houses was built and purchased with a lot of slave money. So there's places that a lot of people like to go, like when you go to the countryside in a nice getaway and you stay in a cottage house, those was built with slave money. So a slave master would take that money and build these, they call them residential something, a residential stay or whatever the hell they call it. They call it that. So people go there, and you'll go there and spend about £600 for the weekend. That money that you're spending on, originally they set up that with slave money, and that money that you're renting it with goes back to that person's family or whoever's in charge of it. But it all came about with slave money. But possibly I'm gonna get right into it. So lucky if you could get this from me, Baba Kishore.
Sir. Among the key challenges in tracing slavery's physical and cultural imprint on the British country house is the establishment of a systematic approach to screening the thousands of potentially relevant properties in order to identify priorities for further study. This chapter introduces one important source that offers the possibility of such an approach: the census of British colonial slave ownership embodied in the records of the Slave Compensation Commission.
But now there's a thing called slave compensation. And with slave compensation, a lot of the money that they got, that compensation that they got, a lot of them pull it into getting wealth and purchasing buildings and purchasing other things. So that's why a lot of them put that money. Go ahead.
Under the Slavery Abolition Act 1833, emancipating the enslaved in most of Britain's colonies, the British state agreed to pay £20 million in compensation to slave owners and other beneficiaries.
Abolished slavery, they paid £20 million to slave owners and other beneficiaries, meaning other people that was getting money off of slavery. So men that would make the slave ship, they would pay them, all right, well, you're going to be out of a job, so here's some compensation. A man that would do a next part, would pay them, here's some compensation. So with that compensation, what did they do? Set up a business. It's like you. If you win the lottery, what would you do? You would go buy a house and go set up certain things, so you got a stream of income coming in. These people was no different. They received compensation, and they started to buy certain things, and certain things that they brought is what you use today. Go ahead.
£20 million compensation to slave owners and other beneficiaries of slavery, such as mortgagees and annuitants who had financial claims secured on the enslaved. The administrative process established to distribute this money provides a unique opportunity to identify every owner in Britain holding slave property in the colonies.
So now historians, they opened the records and they looked at those records and tried to find out who got some compensation and what they spent the compensation on. So now they have some of the records of Mr. Such and Such got this property built with the slave money. Mr. Such and Such got that property built with the slave money. And that's how they're finding out what they owned and what they did with the money and who got the money. Because at that time, a ton of people was applying for that money. Go ahead.
To identify every owner in Britain holding slave property in the colonies at the time the slave system ended. There are at least 3 applications for the resulting data. First, known owners or occupiers of country houses can be matched with known slave owners at the time of emancipation. Second, the slave
it says first known owners or occupiers of country houses be matched with known slave owners. So now they can match certain houses to certain slave owners, and that's how they know they acquired that house through slavery. Go ahead.
Second, the slave compensation records themselves provide information on the addresses in Britain of some, although by no means all, the absentee slave owners, among them numbers of country house owners. Finally, the records capture those in Britain receiving large sums of compensation money in the 1830s, raising the possibility of identifying cases in which this influx of liquidity may have funded or partly funded the building of new country houses or the rebuilding of old.
But they was like, all right then, so now we're going to see if the money they got funded building new houses or repairing old houses. And a ton of them would do what? Repair houses, man. They would get the house and they would rebuild on it and repair. And though they was able to get them repairs, it's kind of like today, if you've got a house, you can get an extension on that house. So you can do certain things like that. You can get an extension on that house. And that right there is what these people's doing. Next slide. See what I keep going.
The full compensation database therefore now includes both information and individuals not present in the parliamentary papers. For example, Edward Gregory Moran Gale, whose family name is embedded in the history of Jamaica and the wider history of colonial slavery at Morant Bay, whose own name is engraved also on the chapel of the University of the West Indies at Mona, and
Now,
who was
his name is engraved on a chapel, and a lot of these people, a lot of these slave owners, a lot of these cities is named after them. A lot of these places in the UK is named after them. Go ahead.
And who was associated with at least 3 British country houses, the National Trust Option House near.
Associated with 3 British country houses. Let me see what a country house is. Hold on. Let me type in what's a British country house.
I see what I need to know.
It's loads of nice in it.
There's a black actor in the UK, and it goes at I'll find out which one it was. And it goes, they own his grandfather, Sweden. Harewood House, it's called Harewood House.
Yeah, I think that's in the slide.
And he's a black, he's a, you know, Mr. Harewood actor. I'll show you. The Harewood.
I think it's Harewood, from what I remember. It says, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, country house, read out here for overusers, see country house. An English country house is a large house or mansion in the English countryside. Such houses were often owned by individuals who also owned the townhouse. This allowed them to spend time in the country and in the city. Henceforth, these people, the term distinguished between town and country. However, many were often and still are the full-time residents for the landed gentry who dominated rural England until the Reformer 1832. Frequently, the former business of the countries was transacted in these country houses, having functional antecedents in manor houses with large number of indoor and outdoor staff. Country houses were important as places of employment for many rural communities. In turn, until the agricultural depression of the 1870s, the estates of which country houses were the hub provided their owners with incomes. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were the swan song of the traditional English country house lifestyle. Increased taxation and the effect of World War I that led to the demolition of hundreds of houses. Those that remained had to adapt to survive. Let me scroll down. All right, so you get a country house is like a large mansion in the countryside.
He's saying that because they own his forefather, can he get his face put up in the house? No?
What? That's crazy. And I see why you would say no.
From Birmingham as well.
But look at this right here. Right here, this is a country house. Look how beautiful that is, man. Look how much rooms is in there. Imagine you picking cutting sugar cane down. Paid for this. Let me see if there's more pictures of it. This is beautiful, man. You pay. Imagine this waterfall on each side, man. These is them slaves' houses, company houses by the lake and whatnot. Imagine like sometimes. Imagine look at this, man. Sometimes we look at houses, Benjamin, and we be like, "Yo, wish I could afford that." And the reason they can afford it is because we made them. be able to afford it. Like we had to get beaten and killed so they can have a nice house like this. Look at this. Imagine how long it takes to cut this grass, man. And then a lot of them that had these nice houses, a lot of them, now they had slaves in England, but they didn't call them slaves. They were smart with it because England wasn't allowed slaves. So they called them servants. So they would call this is my, back then they would say it was African, but we know they're not. But they'll say, this is my African servant. And they would threaten you with, yo, because you know, you could be in the Caribbean. And then they would be like, no, we'd rather be a servant in Master's house in England. And then they would do everything the slave would do, just a little less harsh. But now in England, they couldn't call it slavery. So what did they call it? A servant. And people would see you, and you would feel like, I'm blessed because the rest of my people are over there, and I'm over here in this nice building. Here's another one, man. One day, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go visit all of these. I need to visit all of these houses, you know.
I've been to the Hague ones, man.
Did you go inside it?
Talking about charge and missions and that.
Yeah, the charges to go into them. Wonder
the big uproar that used to put in see this video, man.
We wonder we might need to pay it and just let everyone know how they got the house. Because listen, all of this here comes from slave money.
Outside the road.
Yeah, they got loads of them. All of these come from slavery. This is even. Imagine living here. You don't think this is beautiful?
So like I said, that one in particular was the is what where the Queen and so like where where King Charles he goes. That's his state. That's his house.
And I wonder how they all got it. I wonder how they all got it, and I wonder how they got the money to fund all of these houses. But a lot of them a lot of them got demolished. So when you start looking at certain ones, a lot of them got demolished. But there's a lot of them where they say they can't tie them to slavery, but you can tie them to slavery once you do extensive research. All you have to do is go back and go back and go back. And then what you'll realize is, let's say Mrs. Smith owns the house. They would say, well, we can't tie Miss Smith to slavery. But then you're forgetting that Miss Smith married somebody else who changed their name. Because a lot of them would give houses to family. There was one devil that was super smart. Because I'm going to leave you so much money in cash, but you have to change your name. And then the kids change their name, and then that throws everybody off the trail. Meaning you will never know where it came from because now you're thrown off the trail because the man that got the compensation, this house don't belong to him because the name's been changed. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Canada on concert. Where was I? Chapel of the University of West Indies at Mona, and who was associated with at least 3 British country houses: the National Trust Upton House near Edgehill, Slovakia, Warwickshire, Upham House in Upham, Hampshire, and Brockenhurst House in West Lyndhurst, Hampshire. Does not appear in the parliamentary papers, although he was certainly a slave owner.
Also, he was certainly a slave owner. So listen, just letting you know a lot of these slave owners, if you just know their names, you can see what properties they had, what assets they had, and what houses they occupied. Go ahead.
The underlying records show that he, in fact, claimed the compensation for 732 enslaved on the Mount Hidmost.
So this man here claimed the compensation for 732 slaves. Go ahead.
On the Mount Hidmost, Gales Valley, York, and Crawl Estates, and the St. Jago and Paisley Pens in Jamaica, but in each case lost out to other members of the family who held a mortgage or other prior claim.
Around that time, a lot of Edomites was fighting each other. Why? Because imagine you're claiming compensation and I want the compensation. So they would fall out that way. So they was now beginning to fall out over money. There's some of them that got a crazy head start and still ended up bankrupt. How do you get free compensation and still end up bankrupt, man? That shit's crazy to me. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Again, the slave-owning family of the Earl of Dudley, the slave-owning family of the Earl of Dudley, for whom Whitley Court, now an English heritage site, was purchased.
So it says, hold on, read that one more time. The slave-owning family of the Earl of Dudley, for whom Whitley Court. So now let's see what Whitley Court looks like. Listen, man, Whitley Court looks beautiful.
Whatever.
Is it York? Hold on, bear with me. It says it's here. Whitley Court is. Hold on.
You wanna go now?
You say you wanna go?
Yeah, I'm looking up.
We're gonna have to find the closest one. Where is it?
One in Liverpool, not bad. Leeds, not bad. There's one in what's that?
It must have look like Arrow.
What's that for?
All right, so here, this is Whitley Court. So this is Whitley Court. This is what they look like. So now, the slave, this man that owned slaves, he used his money to get this Benjamin. Meanwhile, we're struggling zinc roof. This is what they're building back in England. We're struggling wooden huts. This is what they're building back in England. Whitley Court. This right here looks beautiful to me. Look at this. You got you telling me this don't look beautiful with the water? Imagine living here, man.
What was that? What was that?
That
was beautiful and shit.
This was Whitley Court.
What's that? That's on the court. No, what's that? The court? We're going, man. Let's go again. What was this?
Whitley Court. Get me. So this right here is Whitley Court, where what? Slave owners use money and purchase this, man. Purchased it, man. And look how beautiful this is, Benjamin. Listen, this water right here looks clean to me. I would boil the rice with this water. That's how clean that water looks. You could use it to knead the dumplings, boil the rice. They're living good, man. This is look at this is Whitley Court when the water falls on. Didn't you tell me this building don't look beautiful?
That's it, actually. More nice.
I'm telling you, Whitley Court looks beautiful, man. This is a picture of it. So imagine, look at all this, man. Imagine you see that, and then you see where we live in. It makes you realize life's not fair, man. It makes you realize life's not fair. When people say, well, listen, understand this. We need to understand that when Christ returns, all of this stuff, also, we're going to be, listen, the way how they're living is going to be how we living, basically.
That's right.
Not having to work a day in your life. Just imagine Benjamin just waking up in Whitley Court, man.
Definitely, Salaki, sir. Really nice.
For real. That's what I'm saying. All of this. All right, let me go back to this slide now. So now that's one of the places. Salaki, go ahead. Listen, every one of these houses we come across, I'm going to stop just to take a look. Salaki, go ahead.
Whitley Court, now an English heritage site, was purchased in 1837. Does not appear in the parliamentary papers. Instead, the underlying records demonstrate that a group led by the Bishop of Exeter, shown in the parliamentary papers,
listen, man, your bishops, your English bishops were slave owners too, man. I'm telling you, your English bishops was okay with slavery. So when we asked them, all right, then, so, like, if you're a black man in England and you're a Christian, you have to understand that slavery was okay in England. That's why the British apologized and said, you know what, we're sorry. Really, they're not sorry. But they came out and said, oh, we apologize for slavery. Really, they're only apologizing, so you be like, okay, we forgive you. And guess what? When they apologize to you, guess what they read to you? Forgive your enemies. To read that to you, but don't give back. Listen, imagine that's like you stealing my money, holding my money in my hand, and telling me, well, you know, the Bible says you have to forgive. While still holding my money, if you want true forgiveness, give me Whitley Court.
That's right.
That's it. You give me the keys to Whitley Court, and then we can talk about forgiveness. Go ahead.
Bishop of Exeter, shown in the parliamentary papers to have been awarded the compensation for 665 enslaved in Jamaica, where in fact
he got
trustees
compensation for 665 slaves in Jamaica. And white people have the cheek to say, well, we lost our property. so we should get paid for it. Nah, man. Nah, man. We lost lives and built everything for you, man. You got paid enough. You got. I mean, how much more payment do you want? You got paid enough, man. Damn. Go ahead.
So okay, sir. So is this trying to say that they were like trying to manipulate records at the time because obviously they didn't show the Earl of Dudley as owning that property, but instead the bishop. So okay, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, and a lot of them, what they would do is, well, you see, to get more money, they would make out like they had more slaves than they actually had. So a ton of them would try. Let's say they had 50 slaves. Some of them would try to stretch it to 100, so they could get more money. And obviously, you know how people do. Like someone crashes the car, and about 10 people try and put themselves in the car to get money. They was doing them same kind of things. But I read that part one more time again. I'm trying to see where you at.
I don't know, concept. It says the underlying records demonstrate that a group led by the Bishop of Exeter, shown in the parliamentary papers to have been awarded the compensation for 665 enslaved in Jamaica, were in fact trustees of the Earl of Dudley.
So now it says to have been awarded the compensation, were in fact trustees of the Earl of Dudley. Listen, man, the devil is gonna con everybody he can con, man. You see these devils? They're gonna con everybody that can con. They're gonna lie and say this person was there. They're gonna lie and say that person's in charge. They're gonna lie. They're gonna falsify records. And these is the things that they do, man. They falsify records, and then they're trying to get more money, and they're lying and saying, yeah, this person needs compensation because he had slave owners, he had slaves. Some men didn't have slaves. They just had a little part. Well, not a little part, shall I say, but they had a lesser part than some of the slave masters, and because they wanted compensation, they made that like, yeah, we need this because, I've lost all these slaves. You have to understand, at that time, records ain't as documented as they are today. Like nowadays, everybody's got their birth certificate and internet and footprints, and back then it's just you're born and that's pretty much it. Especially if you're born in the Caribbean, hardly anyone even knows if you're born for real or not. You got 2 birthdays and all of those kind of things. No one even knows what's real from what's not. But lucky, go ahead.
The second limitation flows from the The second limitation flows from the periodization of the compensation record. These capture slave owners and other beneficiaries only at one point in time, at the end of slavery. It is striking how long-standing the rhythms of slave ownership often were. The records pick up many families that first established ownership in the early 18th century or even the late 17th century.
So now you're saying they established ownership of certain things in like the late 18th century or early 17th century. Go ahead.
But there is, of course, a dark figure of families who shifted wealth out of the slave economy entirely by the 1830s. The Heathcotes of Northampton Hall, Rutland, whom Nuala Zehedia discusses in
of Northampton Hall. Let's see if Northampton Hall comes up. Let's see what Northampton Hall looks like. If it exists, because I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them was destroyed. Look at this Northampton Park Hotel. Look, man, these are set up hotels. Northampton Hall. I don't know where. I got no idea where these places are. Nottinghamshire.
So the quality is not the quality.
If that's the wrong Northampton Hall, Rutland. Where's Rutland?
Derby?
Yeah, it's
And I got the same name.
No, but Derby's nearby Nottingham though, so.
Why is it the regular park? I think Nottingham for true.
Alright, so let's move it up. Northampton Hall, Rutland.
That's crazy.
Nah, this ain't really showing a good one. Hold on. Yeah, so Norman and Hall. I'm not gonna put the picture up because it looks sick. Yeah, Norman and Hall's nice as well. All of these. Say it again. All of these is slave owned. Like these were built with slave money. So sometimes, and it's kind of crazy. I've drove past these things, and I've always thought, why does England have so much castles? Why does England have so much big properties? And now I understand why. Because if it's free, why not? If it's free money, I mean, why not? Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Canada one concert. Rutland, who Nuala Zahidia discusses in her chapter in this volume, are one example of such a family as are the Lucians of Broadsworth, South Yorkshire, whom Susan Seymour and Shellerine Haggerty discuss in their chapter. There are people in the slave compensation records connected, if remotely, to both of them.
Listen, man, them slave owners are connected to a lot of these things. Go ahead.
The slave owner Langford Lovell, who received compensation in Antigua, married the daughter of Sir William Heathcote, the third baronet, the third baronet in the other Heathcote baronetcy, descended from the same brothers as the Heathcotes of Normanton.
So a lot of them was marrying into each other. Go ahead.
Lovell was living in the 1830s at the home of his wife's family, Hursley House in Hampshire.
So now let's look at Hursley House. Let me see if Hursley House, what Hursley House looks like.
All that house at the end of it, are the names?
Most of them. Hursley House, Hampshire. Let's see if this one even looks any good. This one, hold on, I'm gonna go to images. This one's nice. Yo, this one's nice, man.
That little shrubbery on there, and the window on there. You should shrub is a mistake.
Get me, Benjamin, you telling me this one ain't nice. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yes, sir.
They're living good, man. Where's Hursley? Because a lot of these houses, some of these houses was in Ireland and all over Great Britain. This was nice, man. Listen, I'm telling you, England. You see what the crazy thing is with England? Winchester. You see what it is with England? Look at all these people in Hursley House. Look at all these devils. Look. All of these people is here because black people built and made these like get money. Like England has a rich history. There's a lot of things we drive past every day, and to us it's just I'm just driving past it. But to when you actually do research, you realize, damn, I didn't know that was whatever it was. But Lucky, go ahead.
Lovell was living in the 1830s at the home of his wife's family, Hursley House in Hampshire, which the first baronet had built. Arthur Thelution, the son of Lord Rendlesham and grandson of Peter Thelution, who had bought the original Broadsworth Hall estate in 1970, married the daughter of another Antigua slave owner, Sir Christopher Bethel Cordington, but the Heathcotes and the Thelutions themselves do not appear in the records directly. In the case of the Heathcotes, whose merchant fortune was accumulated in the early 18th century, their absence might be expected, but the Thelutions had been slave owners in Grenada and Montserrat as late as the 1820.
So some of these that was slave owners in Grenada and Montserrat as late as 1820. So when you were 1820 is only like what 200 years ago, only 200 years ago, man. And a lot of this wealth is passed down to you. See these rich white men that you see today. Don't just understand they didn't get rich by going to college. A lot of it is generational wealth passed down. That's Lucky. Go ahead.
With these two limitations acknowledged, some preliminary results of the analysis of this corpus of material on slave owners can be tabled. The analysis suggests that 5 to 10% of the national elites in Britain were close enough to slavery to appear in the slave compensation records.
Exactly, they said 5 to 10% of the national elites came up in the slave compensation records. Go ahead.
This proportion is fairly constant across the peerage, the baronetcy, sheriffs, and MPs in the Commons between 1820 and 1833.
Sheriffs and the MPs' names is coming up in the slave compensation. Go ahead.
For example, the 616 members of the English, Scottish, and Irish.
All their names is coming up in them compensation records, man. All of their names is coming up. Let's go ahead.
Peerages, 37 or 6% were involved in the compensation process, 25 beneficially, and the rest as trustees or executors to family and friends.
25 beneficiary and the rest as trustees or executors to family and friends. Go ahead.
Again, of 904 active baronesses, 73 individual title holders appear in the slave compensation records, of whom 54 were beneficially interested, representing 6 and 8% of the universe respectively.
Nice. Go ahead.
These numbers are national totals within which there were significant local and regional concentrations. Although merchants with slave-owning interests were by 1833 a small minority in London, some 150 individuals or firms from the many thousands of merchants active in the city, they were disproportionately wealthy and therefore influential.
What does it mean to be disproportionately wealthy? That means you're rich as could be, man. Disproportionately wealthy, man. Meaning, yo, you're so rich. And we look at white people like, yo, they're disproportionately. And that's what happens today. Imagine this. Someone could be so rich, billionaires, and then everybody else is poor. That's how they was living back then. And that's kind of how some of them live now. Like, you're thinking, yeah, these are smart. And listen, go get all the education you can, but the lying to you when they make you believe you're going to be educated and rich and filthy rich because life can work like that. So,
it's true. You know, the best job you can get if you are a doctor. A doctor can't get a castle. Exactly. So as much as they can make you money, nothing can get you a castle. You have to be inherited.
Exactly. You gotta have family that's got generational wealth. And imagine these men had their townhouses and their castles, and they're making money off the castle when people are renting it, so they're able to buy more houses, and they're getting slave money, they're able to buy more houses, and then they give it to their son, who then builds an extension on it, gives it to his son. Imagine, Benjamin, we ain't got nothing to build an extension on, man. What are we going to build an extension on for sure? we got nothing. So sometimes we hear Edomites talking about putting an extension on their house, and if you notice the extension costs more than how your whole house costs. And that's just their extension, man. They're living there. Listen, they're living good, man.
So like yesterday for me, when he says disproportionately wealthy, they're just living off interest alone, so like sir.
Exactly. Imagine that you're living off interest alone, and then you might have your little job, and then that's bringing more money, and then the interest is bringing more money, and then you're never gonna go broke because why? When I want a weekend breakaway with my woman, I'm renting that, and how much is it costing me? Hold on, let me see. Hold on.
Regular functions, isn't it?
Exactly. Let me see how much it costs. How much is the average? Actually, let me call it country house. How much is the average country house to rent for a event? See, it goes, the average cost to rent a country house for an event typically starts around 2,600 for weekend stays and can go up to 49,000 for larger estates. So, that's for a weekend.
No, how much is the regular rent then? You guys know about 2 grand as well?
Oh no, that's the small one's 2,600. That's gonna be a crap. That's gonna be a crap one. A large one, 49,000. So I'm gonna go with 49,000. Hold on. Let me go with 49,000. Hold on. Times 52. See, and yeah, that's bringing them 2.5 million. And 49,000 is on the lower end because when people book that for weddings for the one day, you know, it's probably about 50 grand in it. It's more than that. It's probably more than that. And now there's a whole website. It's large country houses and mansion for hire. See, look at all these, man. Hopton Tower, Saltmarsh Hall. Imagine there's a man whose job it is to rent this to you. That's crazy, man. Historic and stylish. Grade A Georgian country house. See, that's what they call them. Country houses. And they rent these out. A lot of these are off the motorway. Capacity 110 guests. Listen, man. Let me see if this gives me a price. It probably won't. And this looks beautiful, man. The morning room can hold 200. Drawing room can hold 60. Dining room can hold 60. They got a library in there. Listen, let me click off this, man, because I'm about to get the ski mask. I'm close to getting the ski mask. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Can I do one concert? 1/4 of the directors of the Bank of England in the years before emancipation appear in the slave compensation records.
And 1/4 of the directors of the Bank of England appear in the slave compensation records, which means what? The owners of the Bank of England was able to acquire them riches and set up that bank because of slavery, man. That's how they was getting money. The Bank of England was set up. How do you think they can give loans and interest? Because they know, the money that we're giving to you, they know we're going to charge you interest and we're going to get that money back because once our sugar comes in, we're getting that money back. So they knew that that's how they were setting up all of these things. Go ahead. Don't be one of those lunatics that's going to boycott the bank. Obviously, you ain't in that position right now. You ain't in that position right now. But let's go ahead.
Liverpool's local oligarchy predictably also shows a concentration of slave owners. Over 1/4, some 11 of 41 of the members of Common Council in 1833 received slave compensation. Work on the geographical analysis of the rentier slave owners is still underway, but preliminary results indicate that the southeastern, southern, and southwestern counties of England are overrepresented, as is the northwest, Slovakia. Scotland as a whole is very significantly overrepresented among the slave owners, while the West and East Midlands, Wales, and Northeast are underrepresented, and East Anglia appears to be in line with normal averages.
Next slide.
Hence, across Britain as a whole, the slave compensation data suggests that in the 1830s, 5 to 10% of all British county houses would be expected to have been occupied by slave owners, and that
in 1830s, 5 to 10% of all British country houses would be expected to have been occupied by slave owners. Because them slave owners was getting rich, man. Yeah, they was living in there. They had 2 houses. They had the townhouse, then they had the country house. You see, like if you're rich, you have motor cars and whatnot. They would have all of those, man. They would have whenever they wanted quiet time away, they got the country house. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to answer. Slave owners, and that in some localities and even some regions, the figure would be much higher. What is
much higher.
What is not yet available is a dynamic picture, one that captures movement of people both within a generation and across generations. Not every family resembled the Herewoods of Herwood House, West Yorkshire, as a single-side family. In order to identify both specific linkages with slave ownership and patterns of movement such as linkages over time, there are two approaches to bringing the slave ownership data together with the country house. One is to start with properties and work forward, and work forwards as the initial study by English Heritage did. The second is to start with the slave owners and work backwards, as Simon Smith does in this chapter about the St. Vincent absentees in this volume. The two approaches are complementary, and combing the two could greatly accelerate our collective cataloging of the legacies of slavery in the built heritage.
So, go ahead.
As an example of how the slave compensation records can feed into the study of the country house, the slave compensation data for Antigua have been combined with a desktop review of country houses associated with individuals appearing in the register of claims for Antigua.
So now, a lot of slave owners from Antigua also got a ton of money as well. Go ahead.
There were 1,027 awards in total for the island, of which 151 for Slovakia, of which 151 were for £500 or more.
So now they was getting compensation, and it goes 151 of those cases was for £500 or more. Go ahead.
120 of these were to absentees in Britain.
But to absentees in Britain, meaning these people lived in Britain, they didn't live in Antigua, but they was getting paid from Antigua and they got slave money. Go ahead.
As noted above, the Slave Compensation Commission records do not consistently give addresses for awardees of compensation.
Well, it don't always give you their address of where they was living. Go ahead.
In general, there is at most a designation of England or Great Britain for absentee owners. But if there is either correspondence with the commissioners by a slave owner or a contested claim, i.e. formal dispute about who should receive compensation, then an address may well appear in the records.
So now, because people's arguing about compensation, once they would look deeper into it, then they would get addresses. Go ahead. Because multiple people would fight over who should get the compensation. Go ahead.
In the case of Antigua, some 36 country houses are readily identifiable with slave owners or other beneficiaries of slave compensation.
And also you got a lot of these country houses. They had a ton of them in the Caribbean as well. So they got a ton of them all over there to this day. Go ahead. But obviously, them ones ain't going to look as good as the ones that they had in England. Go ahead.
The list includes well-known sites of slave ownership such as Doddington Park in Gloucestershire, the family home of the...
One second, let me look at the name of Doddington Park, Gloucester. Let's see what Doddington Park, Gloucester looks like. Doddington. And you do know a lot of these devils own estates. So now a lot of these devils own, you see the estate that some people live on? You know that someone owns the whole estate. So this is Doddington in Gloucester. Look at them pillars, man. A lot of them have been a lot of these houses have been knocked down. So some of them. Oh, look at this, man. Gateway to Doddington. Look how beautiful that is, man. Grass has been freshly cut, and I'm telling you, them devils was living nice. Imagine it's all gated. Look how beautiful this is. Beautiful this is. And look, the cheek at the top says best country houses in Britain. Now you know how they got the country houses. It's gonna hurt you to just look. Yeah, this is what Doddington is. Let me go back to where I was.
So like yes, sir. If I may, the country houses is also a form of like reinvestment for them as well.
Real. Funny, see. A contract. Imagine a contract. Imagine Banyamia. One time you're tired of city life. You say, you know what, I'm gonna go to the country for the week, man. And you actually got somewhere to go, which is nice and gated. These devils was living good, man. Out of these country houses, I was gonna say I'm gonna pick my favorite one, but all of them look good. Imagine that. All of them look good. And all of them came up at the expense of slavery, man. All of them came at the expense of slavery. I'm thinking, yo, like, I look at them houses and think, how does a man decide to build this? Where does he get the funds from? Not knowing that sugarcane that's being cut down was able to fund Duddington Park. It was able to fund Duddington Park, man. That's lucky. Go ahead.
So like yes, sir. If I may, and they couldn't have abolished slavery without getting these houses. So, for example, if they didn't get the money, then they would have it in their mind that nothing is wrong with slavery. It's like it only take the compensation for them to stop.
Exactly. Hey, Mother Boss, Shalom, Lord and Christ. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Duddington Park in Gloucestershire, the family home of the Codringtons, as well as major houses such as National Trust's property at Gray's Court in Oxfordshire, belonging to the family.
So now hold on. What was that? What's the next property called that we're going to look at?
Gray's Court, sir.
All right, let me look at Gray's Court. Let me see what Gray's Court looks like. Yeah, I can't see no. Hold on. Gray's Court tour. Damn, they got a whole tour for it.
Most of new, look at most of new, you know.
Let me see when they do the tour. Actually, I'll look at the next one. But it's lucky. Go ahead.
Gray's Court in Oxfordshire, belonging to the family of the Stapleton Baronets of the Leeward Islands, and Brentry House in Gloucestershire, built by Humphrey Repton in 1802 and owned by...
All these was built with slave money, and they're living lavish, nice properties, living good. 50, 60 rooms in there. They're living great, man. So lucky. Go ahead.
But interrogating the database in this way also throws up further sites for investigation.
Go ahead.
That's it on the slides, sir.
Go ahead.
Thus, the compensation material can efficiently identify for further investigation sites that are by definition linked to slavery.
So now the compensation, they can identify other sites which is linked to slavery based off the compensation they paid out. Go ahead.
The records cannot define the whole terrain for the reasons given above on periodization, but can map out a very substantial landscape within it. What the records do not do, of course, is analyze those links, and the remaining part of this chapter raises a number of conceptual and methodological issues in framing the analysis of the sites once identified. These issues certainly bear on the work of the legacies of British slave ownership project, but are also relevant to the wider collective endeavor on slavery and the British country house.
So now this is obviously this whole book's about the British country houses, but I also got other books where it lets you know the banks to set up, the roads, the estates. Listen, we're gonna get into all of those. Obviously, we're not gonna get into them ones today, but today we're gonna try to focus on the country houses. But we're over the next couple of weeks, we're gonna go over everything that they use that slave money on with history, with proof. Slacky, go ahead.
Canada on cancer. The first question is a simple one of scope. Does the phrase the British country house include Irish country houses too? There are no papers in this volume dealing with Irish houses, but the Irish elites were part of the numerator and denominator in the figures provided earlier.
Listen, man. They had them houses in Ireland and all them places. Go ahead.
Of the 5 to 10% rule of thumb for the elites, a few hundred of the successful and or unsuccessful claimants across the colonies as a whole were resident in Ireland, where a number had landed estates. Sir Harcourt Lees, for example, the Protestant ascendancy pamphleteer of Black Rock House, Co. Dublin, wrote the commissioners to intercede on behalf of the family of his younger brother William Eden Lees, who was absent from Ireland.
So now this man, he was a Protestant ascendancy pamphleteer of Black Rock House, and now this man is meant to be a Protestant. A Protestant is what a Christian that's not Catholic. So that's what a Protestant is. Someone that protests against the Catholic Church. Is what Henry VIII came up with. That's a Protestant. Even your Protestants was, trying to get money off slavery, and nowadays they give us religion like religions means we have to love them. Meanwhile, back then when they had religion, they was trying to get compensation. This man should have said, "No, I'm a Protestant. I can't take no slave money." They was like, "No, we want that blood money, man." The Protestant said, "We want that blood money." Hey, go ahead.
Who wrote to the commissioners to intercede on behalf of the family of his younger brother William Eden Lees, who was absent from Ireland but had a claim on Heldens in St. Kitts. Andrew Henry Lynch, the Irish Catholic MP with family estates at Galway.
The Irish Catholic MP, go ahead.
With family estates at Galway, including Lynch's Castle and Lydican.
Let me see what Lynch's Castle looks like. What's it called? Lynch's Castle?
Cancer.
Yeah, Lynch's Castle looks kind of beat down still. Yeah. Looks like a battlefront. Yeah, it's good. It's run down. They can have that one still. They can keep that one, but it's like you are man.
He was a mortgagee on the Pembroke estate in Tobago.
And now he was a mortgagee on the Pembroke estate in Tobago. Go ahead.
Edward Hoare, later 4th Baronet of Annabella, Cork, claimed compensation for the enslaved on 3 estates.
So now, imagine, now, if you can claim compensation on 3 estates, that means you got slaves below, man. You got different plantations. Remember, a lot of them ain't claiming just for one plantation. They're claiming for all the plantations. Go ahead.
Compensation for the enslaved on 3 estates, having married Harriet Barrett of a slave-owning family in Jamaica. Hyacinth George Burke of Kilmore Castle, Logria, wrote to the commissioners in March 1834 under the impression that the compensation had been distributed, and again in December 1836, when he confirmed that he had received what he thought was the first installment of his compensation.
This man, he confirmed that he received his compensation. Go ahead.
His compensation from the £15 million loan floated by Rothschilds, and wanted to know when to expect the second installment. He owned 43 enslaved on the Retreat estate in St. Thomas in the east. Charles McGreal, a native of Larne in County Antrim, left his slave-derived fortune to his brother-in-law James
And this is why we say all these devils had a hand in slavery because they was leaving fortune to their family members. So imagine the man that first started this, that was getting the money, he left it to his brother-in-law, his sons, his daughters, and then guess what they would do? Leave it to their sons and their daughters, and then your sons and daughters would look at their sons and daughters and be like, "Why is my parents so poor?" Go ahead.
To his brother-in-law James McNaughton Hogg in 1876 on condition that Hogg changed his name, which was to build a new house.
See, and now they gave him compensation in order that he changes his name, which is to build a new house. Now, once you change your name, everything what you done under your old name is not documented under this name.
Like the club that shut up, they changed the name.
Exactly.
Remember the club got shut up and the company never. See that club got shut up, this club never. It's not getting a license.
That's what they do, man. Listen, they done it with the boys that killed us, named James Bolger. Was his name John Venables? Remember remember when they killed him on the train track, the little boy, 10 years ago. So now they've got new names, man. They give them new identities. So now you're looking at John Venables is a horrible man, and your boss could be John Venables under a different name. You wouldn't know. So that's what they're doing right here. They're changing their names to avoid detection. So I can go ahead.
Was to build a new house, Magriemore House, on the estate he inherited near Larne, and which had been bought by McGrail in 1842.
Oh, no,
That's the name.
What's the house called?
So okay, the house is Magriemore House.
Hold on, what's it called?
Magriemore.
Spell it for me. I can't see it on the thing.
It's M-A-G H-E-R-A M-O-R-N-E.
M-O-R-N-E.
Magriemore House.
And this one is nice as well. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me get rid of Duddington Park. Bear with me. Hold on. Let me show this one. This one's nice as well. I wonder where this one is. I'm taking pictures of these. This one. Ooh. So I like this one, man. Say that again. This is how it looks in fully. See, and people go there to get married, man. Look, man, people go there to get married. We built this path for these devils to go get married at. Listen, you know this ain't cheap to rent. This one's not nice. Look, people getting married under
the fountains, the chairs.
Look at that, the nice little steps leading up to the color of it's even nice, man. Look, these devils can go. Look at this, smiling, not realizing that what we went through is what built this house in the background. Look at this, all the guests there, Benjamin. Listen, man. Them guests better be there. Them guests better be there when I'm giving a lecture in the whatever house it is, Magriemore estate. This might be my favorite one, I'm telling you, they use that slave money and they set up this. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me go back to this slide. I'm going to see how much it is to. Hold on. I'm going to see how much it is to rent the Magriemore estate. How much to rent? Let's see. All right, so prices ain't. Let me see how much to buy. The Magriemore estate is currently on the market. This historic estate is located near Larne and features stunning art. It's not that expensive, 975,000. Is that a lot?
To rent?
To buy, I think.
Nah, it can't be that much.
No, it can't be that much. Can't be cheap. Can't be that cheap. Actually, you know what? It's an island. It might be. Or that's maybe an old price. But so go ahead, Daniel.
So okay, sir, that's it on that slide, sir.
That's lucky. Go ahead.
Money is fungible, and one of the challenges of legacies of British slave ownership that the project is still coming to terms with is to isolate wealth flowing from slavery from other sources of wealth.
So now they're trying to isolate the two. Because a lot of these devils will lie saying, no, my father's wealth didn't come from slavery. So they will lie, even though we know it came from slavery. They'll say, no, it came from the business. But if you duck slavery money and set up the business, your wealth still really came from slavery. But they will try and separate the two and make out like it didn't. Go ahead.
This is a complex task made the more difficult when wealth originated in slavery and was then transformed into other types of wealth over 2 or 3 generations.
But it's hard to, this is a complex task because basically when wealth started with slavery, like say for instance, if I force someone to work for me right now, they could make me 20 grand, and guess what I could do with that 20 grand? Put a deposit on a property, and then I could start renting out that property, and I could make the money and say, nah, that money came from this house. Prior to me having this house that I'm making money off, I was getting money from slavery. They try and make out like they wasn't getting money from slavery when the whole world knows there was. Go ahead.
Concept. With mercantile wealth, there is sometimes a self-definition. A West India merchant, a Russia merchant, and so on, which gives the dominant trade. But in many cases, a merchant is simply recorded in directories and probate records as a merchant. Occasionally, we have balance sheets that classify the various assets of family or firm, but often only when a merchant has been bankrupt. Papers and account books have survived only for a small minority of merchant firms and slave-owning families, some of which have formed the basis for invaluable secondary studies. While the true source of wealth in many cases may therefore be indeterminate, in specific instances we can be confident that slavery was the source of wealth.
They said they can be confident that slavery was the source of wealth. So one time we need to ask one of these devils, what's your favorite country house? And obviously they're going to pick one of these ones because hey, do you know how they acquired that wealth? Do you feel like those country houses should be given at least let a nigga rent it at a discounted price at least, man? Something, man. Can a nigga rent it at a discounted price or something, man? Because it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us. Because a lot of these devils, this is what they do. They get married in these places. So now I'm starting to realize the reason why you can get married in a nice venue. I'm starting to realize slavery is the reason for everything in England.
That's right.
The reason why you can get married in a nice venue, why you can throw an event in a nice venue, why you can do anything in a nice venue is because of us. And the price that they're charging is crazy, man. Listen, man. Seeing these houses showed me that what? Slavery is profitable, man. That's what it showed me. Any black man saying you don't want a slave, you not see what you can get with a slave, man. You ain't seeing what you can get. People saying Jesus Christ wouldn't. Now I understand why Jesus. Listen, see, you see, seeing these houses. Now it makes me understand when Christ said they're gonna build the kingdom, that they're gonna build. Now I understand it now. Like the money that they're gonna bring in is gonna be able to build these kind of things. Same way these devils see it, now I understand it now. At first I didn't understand it, but seeing these houses lets me understand how certain things is run and how certain things is supposed to be run. Now I understand it now. Because listen, I would have never thought sugar could build houses like this. I didn't think sugarcane, Benjamin, could build houses like this. I didn't think cotton and tobacco could build houses like this. I didn't think sugar could be turned into bricks and a nice roof and I didn't know sugar could turn into a water fountain. I didn't know. Now I know it can. So that's the same way. Listen, we're gonna work them for whatever they can do, and our properties is gonna get built the same way. That's lucky. Go ahead.
The evidence appears overwhelming. For example, that Charles McGrail, the Anglo-Irish merchant cited above, became rich from slavery. He arrived.
Merchant cited above became rich from slavery, man. And that's how all these houses, they all became rich from slavery. Go ahead.
So, like you said, and this shows that Anglo-Irish it would be from that Irish also had a hand in the slavery as well. So, like you said, they always.
And also, so Anglo-Irish means is England but dwells in Ireland, basically.
Canada and Cancer.
It's got English roots and it's in Ireland. So it's kind of like when people say things like the Anglo-Normans.
Cancer.
A Norman in England or vice versa.
So, like I said, but nevertheless, the Irish people they were also slave owners or partakers in the slavery as well. So, like I said,
8%. So with them, they was under the British, but they would have been like ruling the plantation. So they would have been working under the British man, and then they would work their way up. And once they could prove that they was capable, then they could, get their own estates and have whoever they wanted on there. But they make out like, yo, we was enslaved too, whereas they was indentured servants. There was indentured servants. Why? Because a lot of them was criminals. Now the difference is a lot of them was enslaved because they was criminals. You was enslaved because you was black. There's a difference. Right. There's a difference. There's one where a man's born black, and there's one where a man is a criminal. So basically, based off what they're saying is, we went to jail because we're criminals, and you black people are in jail because we're black. Every time an Irish tries to identify with you, let them know it's not the same, man. Say, no, you're indentured servants, you are, criminals. We were just black. That's the difference. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Kind of one cancer. For example, that Charles McGrail, the Anglo-Irish merchant cited above, became rich from slavery. He arrived in the late 1790s in the Dutch territories, which became British Guyana, as an economic refugee for Larne, returned to London in 1818 with capital sufficient to establish a West Indian mercantile partnership, collected almost £100,000 in compensation in the 1830s.
This man, he was broke at first, became rich, went over there, came back to London rich, and then got $100,000 in compensation. And that's back then. That's back then. That's millions today. He got $100,000 back then. Go ahead.
Compensation in the 1830s, dissolved his firm around 1840, diversified his interest, and left £500,000 in personality in 1876 after substantial in veto philanthropic donations and the purchase of land in County Antrim.
So this man this man died with a ton of cash and purchased land. Let's go ahead.
However, sometimes it may be that slave ownership was incidental. This does not mean that it was accidental. James Walvin's aphorism that people were not rich because they owned slaves, but owned slaves because they were rich, appears to obscure the fact that there were wealth preceded slave slave owning. Generally, only people who had become rich through other involvements in the slave economy became Slovakia. That were wealth preceded slave owning. Generally, only people who had become rich through other involvements in the slave economy came to own slaves.
So they're saying people who became rich in the slave economy, them ones own slaves, and it did happen. A man would start off poor, and guess what you would do? You'd work for a slave master on his plantation, like Thomas Fistwood, and then guess what would happen? You'd buy your own. plantation. You get your own land, you buy your own plantation, and then you start to purchase your own slaves, and then you would hire someone, and then you know what they was doing? White people was helping white people get rich, man. Because a white man would give another white man a job, just rule these slaves, and then he would get paid, and then that white man would save his money and get his own plantation. And he would hire someone, and they was getting themselves rich like that, man. A lot of them started off poor, got a job. A lot of them traveled to the Caribbean actually, so they could become slave owners. They traveled to the Caribbean, so they could actually become slave owners and make a ton of money. Go ahead.
Canada and Council.
Let's say back today, people move to Dubai. That's what opportunities are. People move to the Caribbean.
Yeah, same thing. But back then, they knew moving to the Caribbean. They know I'm a bum in England, and I can't survive here. So now I'll go and oppress poor people, and I'll get rich off them. And they actually got rich off them. You see what it is? Back then, you see like how people always try and get you to do crypto. Back then, that was the real crypto, man. Go Jamaican. Go Jamaican, you can send this money back. Yeah, but go Jamaican, you can get this money. That was the real crypto. Slucky, go ahead.
Canada and Council. This was certainly the case with the Herewoods. There is very little evidence of portfolio investment in slave ownership in the colonies by wealthy Britons, partly because there were few collective vehicles for such investment. Rich people came to slave ownership by affinity, but slave wealth could be incidental in the sense that other source of wealth appear to dwarf it in the composition of an individual's overall net worth.
Listen, these are full of shit, man. This is what these are will do. These are will get slaves, make a ton of money, set up businesses, and say, nah, all our money came from this business, man. It didn't come from slavery. It didn't come from sugar. Listen, it come from you setting up the bank. And obviously, you're trying to not tie the two, but the two are linked because you originally was able to set up the bank because of the slave money. Go ahead.
For the Duke of Cleveland, for example, bequeathing personality of over £1 million when he died in 1842, his
£1 million in 1842. £1 million in 1842 is crazy money, man.
No, 1 million now is shit. Back then.
Imagine having that in 1842. Let me see if we can find that.
Must have been or something.
What was 1 million British pounds in 1842? In 1842, 100 was equivalent in purchasing power to 14 grand today. It reflects an average inflation rate. Oh, hold on. That's 1 million. What was 1 million British pounds in 1840? Basically, you would times that, so that would be like what, 140 million or something, something like that. Some big number like that. Anyway. So go ahead.
His ownership of Lothar's estate in Barbados appears incidental to his wealth, which was derived primarily from the accumulated profits of...
Let me see if that estate still exists. A lot of these places are... Imagine that this man, it comes like this man's got a church named after himself. Hold on. No, this ain't it. It's lucky. Go ahead.
Which was derived primarily from the accumulated profits of land ownership in England.
See? And this was accumulated from land ownership in England. Go ahead.
It has to be recognized that both the mother and wife of the Duke of Cleveland were members of the Lothar family and brought a currently unknown amount of slave wealth into the family of the Duke.
They brought an unknown amount of this man. They tried to lie. Tracy Nam, and this is from other ventures. The people that he married into had slave wealth. Go ahead.
Salakia, currently unknown amount of slave wealth into the family of the Duke, but it is not plausible to see slave ownership as the primary source of wealth.
See, because these are like horses, the primary source of wealth. They're not going to say that though. Go ahead.
The Duke's estates in Durham and Shropshire alone were said to be worth £50,000 per annum,
So
10 times the level of his slave compensation.
Back then, go ahead.
10 times.
Now they said these properties was making him more. It made him more than the slave compensation, but he set it up with slavery, man. Prior, all that is sugar money. You just set up mansions and you rent them out. It's not hard. And then now they're not linking the two. Now what it is, a lot of these slaveholders, they're making out like, well, the money we got from sugar, we didn't get that. Have you noticed why people say they didn't make that much money off slavery? It's because where you put the money, you separated it, man.
Banks.
Exactly. There you go. So now you're making money from that, and you're still getting some from this, but this ain't amounting up as much as the inheritance, not the inheritance, the interest rate of the other stuff you're putting out there. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
Sir. This is not to minimize, but only to place place in context as a source of wealth his ownership of enslaved men, women, and children.
So this ain't to minimize, but like I said, when you're smart and you read this, you understand that this man would get his first paycheck and buy a building and rent out that building, and then eventually that building's making the money. The source of it all goes back to slavery. But so Lucky, we're gonna continue this next week. Clap it up on the time. So Lucky, we'll finish this next week. Benjamin, you can call it.
Cut it on, cancer. Me no visual. I'm Imagine Sabat. Imagine Barak. Yahaba Shimya Shai Barakatha.
Yahaba Shimya Shai Barakatha.
Yamajata. Class dismissed.
Shalom Israel. Just wait there 1 second, Benjamin. Shalom Israel will be here tomorrow 7 p.m.